Good afternoon. Welcome to Focus on Liberia. We coming live to you from the CDC party headquarters, where former Finance Minister Tweh just expected to speak to the media following court proceedings. You've been following his court economic sabotage case, and the court left in limbo, throwing the case out of court. Of recent, so Tweh will speak to the media following that particular proceedings. What happened? Where is this? Where he stands? And other major national issues. This is Focus on Liberia with me. I'm Sir Augustine Mario Jr. Live at the party headquarters of CDC. Well, we're going to take our camera inside. We are about to take our camera in.
Viva, le maire de Quito et la Braycon de Viva! Viva, Down, to political case, down, to court intimidation, down, to weaponize the judiciary, down, forward, D2 2029, forward, General Agosto, forward, Edgy Jose to Makochi, forward, Joey and the President 2029, forward, down, to rebury President, down, to bury all the power from a president, down, to intimidation, police brutality, down, Amanda, away to Maibuye, Liberia, thank you, comrades. At this time, comrades, it is important members of the Honorable Affairs, the fighting forces of our movement, the gallant and resilient cadres, the fearless men and women in the trenches, those who continue to struggle under the banner of the revolutionary Democratic Mighty Coalition for Democratic Change. It is important to bring you one fraternal revolutionary felicitation greetings. From the man who presides over the chairmanship of our movement Congress and Chief Convener Janka Augusto Tweh, the man who presides over the National Secretary of Congress, Joseph my OG, and the UW chairperson of the Revolutionary National Youth League of the Endemic Diplomatic Cooperative on Democratic Change. Comrade Emmanuel Mobile Johnson and Laya Agostino Minto. And also, comrades, it's important to recognize his Asia, like your presumptive president, the Excellency President John Manuel Weah, come 2029. Manta! Manta! We are 2029. Zayo! Luta!
It's on watch.
At this time, comrades, we'd like to say members of the Folk Estate and members of the Free Press, we'd like to wholeheartedly welcome you in this Papi Solo Revolutionary Press Conference Hall.
Long live, Papi Solo, long live.
Long live! The Matara Comrade Papi Solo saved this party, protected the ideological revolutionary construct of the movement many years back, and we continue to cherish his memories and the memories of so many gallant forces who continue to struggle under the banner of the Coalition for Democratic Change. Permit me, comrades, to quickly recognize distinguished personalities who've come to grace this all-important occasion. Very briefly, it's important that this press conference will be very short, very brief, very succinct to the point. It's important to recognize Comrade Jacob Jala, Manta, as well as Comrade Alfonso Wallace, Comrade Adu Kanen, and Critica Mohamed Jallo. And for those of you in the diaspora and the media wavelength, you have our revolutionary salute as well. Distinguished members of the Folk Estate, ladies and gentlemen, today's press conference will be addressed by the erudite cadre trainer, a man who is all over this place in Liberia and Africa, been referred to as the economic czar. Manda! The man who pen bleeds intellectually, the man who is one of Liberia's funniest extemporaneous intellectuals. He remains the creme de la creme, one of the best minds this country has ever produced. Today, you speak to the country, speak to the nation on electoral, on convoke and cascades of issues. Whether in the court process and other critical national issues to inform the masses of the people where we are, where we've come from, where we intend to go, with the people's struggle and the people's revolution. He will better explain that because he has the intellectual calisthenics and the revolutionary faith that God is having his way. We have no time, comrades. We have delivered time, but this program is being aired all over this country, and Liberians are eager to listen to the venerated Samuel Tweh Jr. Distinguished comrades and friends, ladies and gentlemen, permit me now to invite today's brochure, today's pedestal, today's revolutionary theater, the man who is a no stranger in the politics of the country, the only Samuel Tweh of our generation, the only Samuel Tweh of Liberia, and the only Samuel Tweh of Africa. Comrades and friends, permit me to introduce and welcome to this generation the venerated Honorable Samuel Tweh.
Oh, Father Tweh!
Now, the former Finance Minister Samuel Tweh is president of the podium and address the press to speak on critical issues involving his economic sabotage, his criminal code.
Thank you, please have a seat. The chairman, members, the National Executive Committee of the Congress Coalition for Democratic Change. National Youth League of the Popular People's Movement. Members of the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Many all over the country today are speculating why I have called this press conference. The last time I spoke to the media was in September 2024, upon my return to the country to pursue my vindication through the rule of law. People then thought my comments were going to center on the witch hunt against me and other former officials of the CDC administration. Consistent with the wisdom that it is not prudent to discuss matters pending before the judiciary, I addressed many different issues during that interview. At today's press conference, I will do the same. So those speculating that I'm about to speak on my case are dead wrong. I will, however, say in passing that despite the evident delayed gimmicks from the prosecution and the state, we will prevail in what is a clear example of national security expenditure that is amply protected by Liberian law. We look up to the judiciary for guidance in concluding that matter. Today's press conference will center instead on the political factors, the lies, the hate, the envy, the propaganda, the dishonesty, and the shenanigans that aim to destroy innocent individuals in the public space for political motives. The question today we will ask is, why would people in our society, in our government, in our political parties, in our media, in our religious institutions know the honest truth or aspects of this truth, but we refuse to say anything when blatant falsifications are being hashed by malicious individuals to destroy innocent people? Why do those who know the truth on matters become willing accomplices to destroy others by their dangerous silence? Today, I will demonstrate how this evil information manipulation was deployed and weaponized against the administration of the CDC, and how people are intending to sustain this culture of lies to destroy people in our politics. Those of us who have been caught in the crosshairs of these machinations will fight back with every means at our disposal, intellectually, politically, and of course, legally. This will not be and should not be how we conduct our politics. We cannot fight corruption by lying on innocent people. Those who are determined to sustain this culture of lies and dishonesty in our politics and society must be fiercely resisted and fought so that we arrive at a more honest national discourse that will focus on the serious issues affecting our people. Today's conference is about initiating that fight. It is about demonstrating how targeting Samuel Tweh and keeping his name in the public, even when he has done nothing wrong, appears to be the goal of some individuals in our politics and in our media. One of these individuals is Mr. Senator Witherspoon. Mr. Witherspoon has used his spoon network to malign my person and spew out misinformation concerning me for more than 4 years while I was Minister of Finance. Even out of power, he continues to pursue me. Although Mr. Witherspoon faces several lawsuits for libel, he does not seem deterred in maligning innocent people, aiming to destroy their reputation. In the last 6 years, I have treated these machinations as coming with the political territory, offering public clarifications or denunciations. I have always believed a public official should be willing to withstand public scrutiny, but malicious attempts to demean and damage the reputation of an individual is a far cry from public scrutiny. Clearly, these lawsuits have evidently not deterred Mr. Witherspoon and those of his ilk. Today, I'm exposing a conspiracy by Mr. Witherspoon and others to get Samuel Tweh involved in some fake, false 30 million COVID-19 scandal, for which Mr. Witherspoon said on his network on last Thursday, June 26, 2029, that, quote, I will be arrested, Samuel Tweh will be arrested by government. I have here the video footage of Mr. Witherspoon's comments, and will play it before taking questions. More than 100,000 Liberians must have heard this malicious garbage. Several persons have since called me to ascertain the veracity of his injurious rant against my person. And since people are actually having conversations about, quote unquote, my pending arrest. with some urging me to change my sleeping location. All of this was something not only that I really don't know, but no wrong I have committed. Let it be clear that if the government is investigating the COVID-19 World Food Program food distribution, it is the World Food Program that will be under investigation and not former Minister Samuel D. Tweh Jr. I believe publicly demonstrating the abject falsity and bogosity of these Witherspoon-inspired rumors concerning a supposedly 30 million COVID scandal, the public will appreciate the extent and scope of the conspiracy against me and may begin to ask why am I the target of so many in our politics. I will present here publicly available reports on the 30 million, saying which institution was giving this money, where the money came from, how much of this was spent, and how much was left over. I will also show that the current UP administration has authorized the use of the balance of this money, for which, according to Mr. Stanton, I should be or would be arrested. In 2010, let's present the facts to the public and commence the destruction of these evil rumors. In 2020, the government of Liberia through the national legislature worked with the International Monetary Fund to secure 25 million loan to support what was called the COVID-19 Household Food Support Program. This program was about giving food to Liberian households during COVID-19. As part of the arrangement, the government and the IMF agreed that the money should be deposited directly into the bank account of the World Food Program, which, according to the government and the IMF, had the best expertise and experience to distribute food on a global and national scale. I was very happy with this arrangement because it meant no Liberian government institution would be accused of, quote, stealing 25 million, since it would be the World Food Program that would be accounting for the 25 million. I was happy that another 25 million lie would be avoided. Don't know the 25 million people are talking about. But as we all can see now, my happiness was futile and short-lived because I am today here talking about 25 million that was directly deposited and spent by the World Food Program. Long story short, the Ministry of Finance, under my leadership, received 25 million from the IMF through the government revenue account and transferred this sum in its entirety to the bank account of the World Food Program. I don't think that money stayed a full day at the Ministry of Finance when it came. It was transferred immediately. Also, the World Food Program received $5 million from the World Bank through the Smallholders Agriculture Transformation Agribusiness Revitalization Project, STARPI. This $5 million was released directly by the World Bank as monies for donor partners such as the World Bank do not go to the government revenue account. Based on the final report of the project, which I will show you a copy of that, the World Food Program received a total of 30 million from two different sources: the Ministry of Finance under my leadership, and the World Bank and the Ministry of Agriculture. In July of 2022, the World Food Program reported that it spent 23.838 million and had a balance of 1.17 million to transfer back to the government through the MFDP. The World Food similarly had the amount of 857,000, these are US dollars, to be returned to the World Bank directly. In total, they had a little over $2 million of unspent COVID-19 food distribution money. So in other words, they probably spent a little less than $28 million. Up to the time the CDC administration left office, the World Food Program had not returned this money. Thanks to Deputy Minister Augustus Flowe and his hard-working team, we left a turnover note with recommendations for the incoming administration. I have the entire copy of our turnover note from the Department of Economic Management, which deals with matters of donor funding. But specifically, we have printed out the section on the recommendation that was left with incoming Finance Minister Wyman Kamara and the UP administration. But it gets more interesting. I have a letter dated March 2025 from Finance Minister Augustine Tweh requesting results to expect from the $234,350 or 20% of the unutilized COVID-19 food distribution money he had previously approved for expenditure on school feeding as requested by the World Food Program. An earlier letter from Minister Gafoy in September 2020 reads his denial of a request from the country director of the World Food Program to use 500,000 of the unused funds for school feeding. I have also a May 2023 letter from former country director of World Food Program, Mr. Aliu Diongu, requesting my approval for said reallocation. Mr. Aliu personally visited me, and I told him then I was not in the position to grant such an approval. We had a good conversation. Yeah. But let's imagine Minister Gaffron has approved the reallocation, and it is Minister Tweh who is now being rumored to be arrested. Imagine if Samuel Tweh had approved and given the money to Aliu. They would have said Samuel Tweh used World Food Program money for CDC campaign, and maybe I might have been arrested already. So to conclude, members of the press, these are facts on the COVID-19 30 million. Why did Mr. Waterspoon put my name out there for 30 million? Mr. Waterspoon claims to have received this information from government sources, quote unquote. I don't care about Mr. Waterspoon and his sources. I care that Liberians have falsely been made to believe I'm illegally connected to some $30 million, for which the government is purportedly seeking my arrest as part of this dragnet on former CDC officials. I have consulted my team of lawyers who believe there are substantial merits in libel lawsuit against Mr. Witherspoon pertaining to this defamation. I've instructed my lawyers to file this suit early next week. This will be the legal battle. Today, I will spend some time discussing this and other lies and how these lies have been weaponized against individuals in the CDC administration. I thank you. I will now play the video footage and we'll take your questions on these after that and other developments.
Amanda, where do?
So you listen to the former Prime Minister doing some character clarification on this phone talk earlier in June by Stephen Waterspoon, CEO of the Spoon Network, on alleged
Play you the footage so you pay attention.
program.
We're beginning the legal battle. We'll do legal, political, and intellectual battle in this country to save our reputation in our country. Here it is. Right. So,
Reactionary tendency.
Abbas!
Reactionary tendency.
Abbas!
Disinformation.
Abbas!
Propaganda.
Abbas!
Propaganda.
Abbas!
Propaganda.
Abbas!
Propaganda.
Abbas!
Propaganda.
Abbas!
Yo. Disinformation. Yo. Amanda.
Where do?
Away to.
Amanda.
Yo. Evidence coming outside. Yo. Another document. Yo.
This is the section of the Ministry of Finance, our government's recommendation to the incoming government on what to do with the COVID-19 money. This is prepared by Minister Gossip Flomo. Council says, contact the World Food Program for the balanced COVID 2019 funds to agree on the deployment of remaining funds to support food production. So the remaining funds did not come to President Weah's government. So nobody can prosecute any official in the President Weah government for COVID-19. The evidence I will share with that one with you. This is Minister Gaffron's letter denying the 500,000 requests from COVID in September last year. They had asked the minister, the same way they asked me for the balance money, he had denied first. So that's the letter. This is another letter approving, Mr. Gaffron subsequently apparently approved 234,000, and he's writing Minister Nuta for results. What do we expect from this money? So he denied first, he approved subsequently, but he's writing to find out what are they doing with the money and what are the impact. He only approved probably 20% of it, so that's 234.
Yo, the one in the cookie jar. Yo.
mean, no. I'm like, you know, the minister did. This is legitimate function the minister is performing. I could have approved it, but I decided not to because there was a new administration coming. He can approve it, do whatever, but let the facts say what they are. You cannot be talking and gossiping in the corner about arresting Samuel Tweh when the very government that should be arresting him for this money, approving the money and doing something with the money.
Yo, government approving, doing something with the money. Yo.
So basically, yeah, I will share. We have all the reports on. We have the reports on email and WhatsApp. We share with you the final copy of the July 2022 World Food Program report. We'll share with you Mr. Promo's turnover note to me, for me, and then for the new government. We'll share with you all of these so that it's clear in the life. You see, we're not going to. The people lie on the CDC administration so much and want their way to political power, and they think they can get away with it. So we just lie and say anything, 25 million, 16 billion, you just lie, people die. I mean, men like me, people trying to say I can kill human beings. I mean, can you imagine, all the people who know me, men like me, people look at me and say I can kill. Some people, so because of that, some people look at my profile in the public and say, you know, they don't know, because they don't know me personally. They just see why it's all the ventures against this one man. Maybe you hear something, even my chief of staff just died. And people have the audacity to even believe that I can kill Cletus Noah. That's how evil this country has become, and the politics have become destructive. And so those all who are there, we have texting. Me, I have very texting. I was born for political battle. Don't get me wrong. This is my field. Yo, in the land of Samuel Tweh. Yo.
Allemand dit Tweh. Allemand dit Tweh. Dit Tweh coming.
My skin is extremely tough. Very little moves me. I have no fear for any man. And I envy no other man. Because I think what one man does, I'm able to do, so I don't have to envy him. But there is a limit to what a man can take, especially if he has 6 children who are growing up. And when somebody consistently tries to pick on their father, so, but what is this man doing? Why would you? I mean, people call me and say, 30 million again? Well, what is that? What you did with this money? What happened? I said, come here, arrest you for 30 million. My sister in New York calling me. I said, 30 million? I didn't do anything with 30 million. 30 million is with the World Food Program. The other strategy about this is that the World Food Program hears this gossip. People in the Ministry of Finance know that the minister is writing letters using the money currently. They sit on spoon and hear all this garbage, and nobody has the audacity to say, hey, stop this. Mr. Gaffron approved this money just this March. Why are you talking about Samuel Tweh this morning? That's why I say, what kind of society we live in today? When people in our political parties, in our churches, in our media institutions, in our government know the honest truth. When the people who are writing the letter for Mr. Gaffron know and they're not able to call school and say, you are lying, I just drafted a letter for this money. It's not Samuel Tweh. Why do we do this? So that's the conversation we're going to have today, you the media people. And particularly you media people. What is your standard for verifying information? It's an honest conversation. President, we have signed the Table Mountain Law. No, it's not Table Mountain, the Apply Camara. That gives you guys the right to say many things. But there is a limit to which you can libel somebody. So Mr. Spindle Waterspoon will have to tell us in court who told him that I took 30 million and which government is coming to arrest me for 30 million, for which he has now made. And to me now, to everything, and maybe the whole 22 million I've granted down here for 30 million, and my name is in there. So it is only the vindication through court that will compel Mr. Wilson to say something and repent, so that the public knows that the journalists or the commentators on social media have a responsibility to truth in our democracy. We want to fight corruption, we want to transform the country, but we should do so honestly. We cannot destroy other people in that process. Right? The falsification that goes on spoon has to be challenged. Just the other night, the man played my Amuto Ken song. Oh, Amutoken, oh. He's playing that Amutoken song and saying that that song was because of President Weah's visit to President Biden. Oh, I sang that song when Liberia passed the MCC scorecard. That's where I sang that song. I said, we qualified. The 500 million that should have come to this country, I was celebrating for my country. That this government was inheriting. That eventually it may have been 4 or 5 years from now, it was that song. So when you hear that song in the public, anytime school plays it, link it with the 500 million that will come at some point in the future. That's the celebration I was doing. He mischaracterized that and put it in the form of, so it's a propaganda outfit. It's unfair. They do valuable work. Many of the panelists, I have friends on the show, I think they will morally do the public right if they have to objectively raise the standard of their truth telling. If they're not sure about something, then they need to verify before bringing it out. So when we go to court, my lawyers have told me, I think my case will meet the strongest test of libel. So we're going to fight that legal battle with Mr. Witherspoon. It's not this, I'm not attacking the spoon now, I'm attacking Mr. Witherspoon. He has an agenda personally for 4 years, consistently impugning my reputation in the public when he has no basis for doing so. Thank you. I'll take your questions.
So at this time, comrades, the questions and answers period will be very, very, very rigid. Call your names of the institutions that you're representing, call your name as well, and then go strictly to what has been read and said here. Anything outside of that? Yeah, the first question. Yeah, please, you are only asked, you are allowed to ask a question, just a question. Yeah, because of time and the number of people here willing to ask questions.
Yeah?
Yes, brother.
I'm Obadiah Johnson, I report for Front Page Africa newspaper. Good afternoon, Mr. Tweh. You serve as Liberia's finance minister at the time the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank respectfully contributed the amount of $25 million and $5 million each to Liberia and its citizens for COVID-19 stimulus package. Don't you think it's prudent enough that you submit yourself to any pending investigation, since in fact you actually headed the country's finance ministry at the time? And what do you think your name is actually linked or implicated in What do you think? Don't you think it's prudent that you submit instead of crying wolf at this time? Thank you.
Yes, sir. My name is Matthias Labini. I'm from Sky Communications Liberia. Mr. Tweh, thank you for your presentation. Do you trust the whole system in Liberia, the judicial system of Liberia, under the Waters administration, which you are going to use defending yourself? In which court are you going to file a lawsuit against Stanton Buenos in Liberia or in the US since it's now residing in Liberia?
Next question.
So thank you. My name is Hagar Honda and I'm looking for Freedom FM. Honorable Minister, former Minister, I should say, I'm interested in knowing that what you said and considering the efforts of the government in going after some past government officials. Why do you think all of these things are happening? Because there are speculations in the public that the government is apparently not seeing the way through, and as such, they want to play some tactics by bringing on, coming on some former officials of the CDC administration. Why do you think you are always in the news for these kind of allegations?
Next question.
Okay, I'm saying I report for the National Bureau. I'm concerned about the silence of the walking program. Since you, in fact, you said the money is directly with the walking program, why is it they haven't gone silent on this issue?
So thank you. So we'll close the first chapter and then.
Thank you. These are very good questions. That's why I'm here. Would you submit yourself to? Listen, I'm a patriotic, law-abiding citizen. I will submit myself to any investigation, legitimate or bogus. Let's get it clear. Any legitimate or bogus investigation, I respond, because as a citizen, you have to respect the authority. If the police came for you, you can't put water in the face and slap me. Even if I did not, I would be sleeping in my house and police say I didn't sleep in my house, I did something else, they come for me. I will go to the station. That's not the question. So I'm just giving the public that there is no basis for involving Samuel Tweh in anything like this. So let's say the government has seen the 25 million report, which I share with you, from the money, about the money we gave them. And let's say people in the government are not satisfied. Who do you think is the first person that you want to contact? You have to contact the World Food Program, because one of the reasons why we gave the money to the World Food Program was that we did not want another situation where we were politicizing. If we won't politicize it, let's go and politicize it with the World Food Program. Because the World Food Program will receive that money. No Liberian official has access to World Food Program's bank accounts. They control the expenditure. There was a National Steering Committee chaired by Minister Wilson Tapper. I was only Minister of Agriculture only. They were just administering steering. They were not involving operational matters. So we're receiving all of these reports. The purchasing of rice, the distribution of rice were left solely to the World Food Program, because they have the global expertise and the experience to do that work. So if there is a problem with the spent portion, there are two portions now. Spent nearly 28 million, or spent 2 million. If we have problem with the 28 million that was spent on the World Food Program, then it's prudent that the government investigate. But as I know right now, there is no asset to recover on the 30 million, because the World Food Program has reported that it spent every time legitimately has given a report to the government. The government has not challenged that report, except it is trying to do so. But if it's trying to do so and launch an investigation, the investigation will begin with the World Food Program. If you ask me in that investigation, Mr. Tweh, what do you know about 25 million? This is what I'm saying now to the public. I know that we agree with the IMF that I will put the money in the World Food Program account. The 5 million will come from the World Bank. We don't control World Bank finance. The ministers of finance don't control monies that leave World Bank account. World Bank project money goes directly from World Bank to directly from World Bank to the World Food Program, and it goes from the World Bank to other recipients of World Bank money. We don't sign on those. There is a framework at the Ministry of Finance, but the ministers are not involved in that distribution. So that's what I can say on the 25.